This video was made pretty much on the run. I was on my way from my house back to my office, and I went by a street where I knew they would probably be pouring foundations, and I saw one that was obviously in trouble. So I stopped and made some video clips and took some photographs of what was going on. And basically what you're going to see is what happens when the crew to do the pour is too small, the concrete set up, and they got way behind and in trouble. And well, it's just not a very pretty picture, but we'll show you what we're talking about here in a minute. As you watch this clip, it is clear that the screed crew is having a very difficult time. Watch the guy closest to the camera working the screed. It is clear he is struggling to level the concrete with the screed. At one point he almost falls over trying to pull the screen through the concrete. What is not obvious from this clip is that you are looking at the entire finishing crew, a total of 4 people, about 5 to 8 men short. This clip shows a closer view. Watch how the worker struggles to level the concrete. You cannot see his face, but you can tell from his movements that he is using all of his strength to pull the screed through the concrete. Watch this clip to see how a screed crew works with a stiff but normal concrete mix. This is very easy work by comparison. You cannot tell from this clip, but there were 2 screed crews and 2 people both bull floating. Note also the guy at the rear right floating the right side of the garage. The larger finishing crew makes it a lot easier to finish the concrete quickly and expertly. Too few finishers is asking for trouble and a poor quality job. Notice the bull float at the right near the camera. It appeared to me that they bull floated the rear section and found the concrete was not very workable. Plus they figured out they didn't have enough people there to screed the concrete and bull float the slab. So they put the bull float down and concentrated on screeding with a plan to rely purely on a little manual floating and machine troweling. Notice that the slab area to the right of the arrow is smoother than the rest of the slab. That's because it has been bull floated. The rest of the slab had not been bull floated. When this slide was taken, there should have been at least 2 people manually removing the excess concrete at the drops and floating it to consolidate the concrete. Instead, no one was doing this at all. Notice the extra water being added to the concrete. They do this because the concrete is too dry even for a machine to trowel. The downside is that the added water weakens the concrete. When the trowel forces the water into the concrete, it softens it and makes it more workable, but it also weakens the concrete surface and makes it more susceptible to cracking, crazing, and dusting. 2 machine trowels were used because there was no time to bull float the slab. They had to machine trowel the slab ASAP. Note the worker is trying his best to make the concrete at the garage entrance smooth, hard, and durable. To get it smooth, he adds water because the concrete's too dry to work, but the added water makes the concrete weak. So he finds some leftover dry concrete, breaks it apart, and works it into the concrete mix in an attempt to make the best of a bad situation. Notice the severe discoloration of large areas of the slab. My best guess is that was due to the angle that they had the blade set on the machine trowel. They had to set it at a sharp angle in order to get any kind of a finish, and in some places they simply over-finished the concrete. These 3 final slides give you an idea of just how rough the finish is. Broken concrete, weak concrete, honeycombing, just an all-around real poor job.